Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sportskira's IPL series Power Play. I'm your host Prasen Maudgal, and along with me is our cricket expert Indranil Basu. After exciting lots of cricketing action as part of IPL 2020, we're finally down to our last two teams which will fight out in the final of IPL 2020 tomorrow. The Delhi Capitals picking a 17-run win over the Sunrisers Hyderabad yesterday, courtesy of an all-round performance from Marcus Stoinis, a 27-ball 38 and three important wickets, which really led the way for the Delhi Capitals to pick up that victory over the Sunrisers. A lot to talk about yesterday's match and key performances that really had an impact on the game altogether. Let's begin with the man himself, Indranil. Marcus Stoinis' promotion to the top of the order. Delhi Capitals obviously were batting first. They needed that firepower, and Marcus Stoinis proved to be that man for them yesterday.
Absolutely, and the way he started, but I would also blame the way SRH bowlers starting off with their new ball, straying down the legs, and it really helps Stoinis to settle down quite nicely. And he's someone who loves to hit the ball, and the ball there was a tinge of grass. It was not a green top in particular. There was a tinge of grass, and that really helped the ball to come easily up to the bat. And these Australian cricketers, they love hitting through the line and across the line when the ball comes to the bat. And Stoinis was exactly doing that, and he was quite effective and rightly pointed out by you, Prasen, before we started the show, that he should have been promoted up the order a long time ago. It showed a lot of stability. They wasted a lot of time on Prithvi Shaw's and Ajinkya Rahane's a little bit. I thought you were absolutely right on assessing that part. But yes, you have a big final. You've reached the final, and it was a lucky toss to win. The way they came out and started to bat, and it was good to put those scores on. I thought 170 would be good enough, and thank God they had 189. Otherwise, it would have been a close call for them. And Stoinis got those wickets towards the end. He was really in a different league altogether, and it augurs well for Delhi Capitals when they play the final, present.
Yeah, absolutely. And Marcus Stoinis' promotion was really warranted if you look at it, because he was fantastic in the Big Bash League for the Melbourne Stars. And yesterday he gave them that perfect start along with Shikhar Dhawan. But just on that note, Shikhar Dhawan himself, magnificent half century. Probably in a rush to get back to the dressing room, because he should have definitely reviewed that LBW call. But he'll probably look back at that and think that he missed out there. But Shikhar Dhawan finding form again. He scored a half century against RCB. He scored a half century again. He didn't score a half century against RCB, sir. So he did score a half century against Sunrisers yesterday. Fantastic to see Dhawan back in form, and he'll be a key player for them in the final.
And he was always scoring those runs, 30, 40s when he started off. Then got those 450s, and two of them were centuries. First batsman to get two back-to-back centuries in IPL, which I thought was phenomenal. He lost a little bit of touch in between towards the fag end of the league phase, but he really regained in this competition. Even in the first qualifier, but Dhawan wasn't right up there. But just before the final, one more game he has got to show prove his worth, and I'm sure he can go all the way. And as you rightly pointed out, Prasen, we should have a new champion. And sitting in Delhi, it won't be nice to see a new champion from the IPL, but they definitely have a huge climb from here on. Finally, it's not going to be easy. They're up against again a team which has done it over and over again, which is Mumbai Indians. It's not going to be easy. But Dhawan, being a big match player, and on a big day, he had to put his hand up. On the first qualifier, he couldn't do much, but second qualifier was really, and along with Stoinis, they found the perfect foil. Was never in a hurry. They completely were in control of things. Only latched onto those deliveries, hurled at them, and those boundary balls. Basically, they didn't let go of those opportunities. I thought it was a complete performance. And moment they had that solid start in the first power play, and everything was right behind them. They just started to sail so smoothly. It was a very, very and first 10 overs, I remember, they had the momentum, they had all the runs, they had lots of wickets in hand. Over overall a very clinical effort. Really, Delhi really looked like a champion side. I won't take anything away from SRH. They have been a very, very brave side as well. Without having Saha, if Saha would have been there, things probably would have been different. You never know. This is how cricket is. And whenever they have someone striking, they left the scene, be it Bhuvaneshwar Kumar or Vijay Shankar or Ridwan Saha. They've been really unlucky, SRH. But what a team, with those limited resources, the way they sort of created that kind of excitement throughout the tournament. I think phenomenal run, really, and they deserve to be in the final. Unfortunately, it wasn't their day. It just needed 2 hits, actually 3 hits I mean, they were just caught by 3 hits. I mean, 3 hits to the over the boundary would have really changed things. 17 runs after all. And if you look back, those overthrows of Rashid Khan and all that, if you can discount, you subtract all those runs, it would have been a very close game for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And the frustration was very evident on Rashid's face as well, given that the Delhi Capitals got off to a fantastic start. But if you were to compare the two power play scores, Delhi Capitals got off to a blistering start. On the other hand, the Sunrisers Hyderabad lost their top three of Priyam Garg, who was surprisingly promoted up the order with Warner, and they lost Manish Pandey as well, right on the last ball of the fifth over. So, do you think the difference in the power play was what really made all the impact towards the end, or do you think it was somewhere else where the Sunrisers really lost the match?
I think you're absolutely bang on target, but still I felt Williamson was superb, and that shot I think he got off to Rabada, and that shot was not needed because he got a lovely hit to the fence. Two balls or just a ball before he got out. So I thought Williamson, had he stayed a little longer, things would have looked a little different. What a champion of a cricketer, really. I mean, the way he goes around doing his business, he's really the best in the business. I mean, it's so unfortunate whenever a big matches happen, Williamson is on the losing side. We saw in 2019 World Cup when he was leading New Zealand in the final, he lost. It was really unfortunate. They were actually the true winners. Unfortunately, it was the sort of rule which ICC made that couldn't see New Zealand winning that most watched final in history of world cricket. And second thing is, I mean, look at when so much of pressure coming in, and look at the way he plays, the way he clears the gaps, negotiates the gap. That's a sign of a big play. It's not about hitting the ball hard. It's also about putting the ball between the gaps. And Williamson is so good at it. And any youngster watching Williamson play, they should learn how to negotiate those gaps and get those runs. What a superb player, really. And I wish SRH has just won that game only for Williamson, the way he played that knock. I would not take anything away from Shikhar Dhawan and Mark Stoinis, the way they rallied, the way they played for Delhi Capitals. They were the right winner. 17 runs is not a small margin. It's a big margin in T20 to win a game. So Delhi Capitals thoroughly enjoyed the fact that they won the toss, went out there, put those runs on the board, put pressure back on the opposition. And it was that pressure which played a role in the power play. And you rightly pointed out. Because if there was we were chasing 150 or 160, the batsmen are not in a rush. We've seen so often a team like Rajasthan Royals losing the plot while chasing. They opted to chase on a lot of occasions. And they chased, they were in a rush, they were in a hurry. Harbadi mein garbadi, that's what they say in Hindi. This part of India, they said harbadi mein garbadi. So, you should never be in a rush. Take your time. Nothing is going to lose out. You can still make most of it between 16th and 20th over, like Mumbai Indians are doing. It's not about power play alone. It's also about the slog overs, how you play your cricket in that phase of the tournament. And you can really play free cricket, without any worries, any pressure. If you have wickets in hand, that's important. So they lost too many wickets up front. And if your foundation is not strong, which Delhi Capital had, and the foundation was given by that solid start by the openers in the power play. So it all matters. All it matters is a good foundation, and then you can latch on to the opposition bowling and make those runs, and which they really struggled because there was nothing called smoothness. In the middle overs, of course, Williamson played that brilliant knock, which could have lifted their side, but he was only one man standing there, which is not enough in a cricket game.
Yeah, and just before the match, we also put out an article of 3 tactical changes that Delhi Capitals needed to make before the match, and one of that was to bring in Hetmyer in place of Sams. Of course, the other two also worked. Marcus Stoinis opened the batting, and the other we had suggested was that the Delhi Capitals should try and play Rishabh Pant as a finisher. And although Pant as a finisher didn't really work out for them, Shimran Hetmeyer's addition was something that worked out really well. 22 ball, 42, and that pretty much changed the complexion and brought the momentum again onto Delhi side, despite some wickets towards the end.
Absolutely, he was really, and the fact that he played few games before, so getting a chance all of a sudden in the second qualifier, and he didn't play the first qualifier, but the fact that he played those matches really helped him. The way and he had nothing to lose. He just had to go there and hit the ball if there was in slot, and they had those runs on the board. There was always a cushion, and he had to just ride the wave, and which Hetmyer did with the best of his ability. He can hit the ball. We've seen it in the past, but he was not that consistent. He had a big score in one of the games previously in the league phase, but yesterday what he did is all that matters, and he was really brilliant. 22 ball, 44. It doesn't come every day. It doesn't happen every day. You have to be really in that sort of mind space to be able to hit the ball. But there are other things also, Prasen, apart from your class. It's the form which can elude you anytime. It can come and go anytime. But yesterday form was clearly with Hetmyer, and he really made it count.
Yeah, and two others who have made it count for the Sunrisers, unfortunately, they will not be a part of the final, but two players who really made an impact for them. One youngster, Abdul Samad, he was on fire yesterday as well, and the other man, you have spoken about him, you have showered praise on him, is Thangarasu Natarajan. What a final over he bowled. I mean, two very, very big positive takeaways for the Sunrisers Hyderabad just before they enter into next IPL.
Absolutely, and that's what they said. Samad was brilliant, too brilliant. I mean, had it not been that catch, that dismissal, I don't know if something was there. I thought something miraculous could happen the way Samad was playing, and was really quite a brave knock. But again, Williamson was also doing. And Natarajan, for instance, you said he's again a big find for SRH, and he could be used next year. But I somehow feel that Sandeep Sharma really needs to work on his pace a little more. And if it's not the pace, at least if you have to have an immaculate line and length, which is so important, which he was doing. But I thought these are the little positives they can take it for the 2021 IPL, which is the Samad was really, I mean, and you rightly pointed out what a talent and what a powerful guy. I had a word with a few other guys from J&K, and they had lots of hope. And I heard stories about how Irfan Pathan backed him when he was the coach, that he can go all the way. And he's actually got a lot of firepower for sure. And these are the cricketers, you should push them right up there, and he should be given more opportunities to bat up the order. And that's what the franchise should do. And with people like Lakshman and all at the helm of the coaching panel of SRH, I'm sure they'll come back strong. And they are a very, very brave team. Let me tell you, the way they've displayed their cricketing skills, really hats off to the SRH. It was a luck running up. They ran out of luck yesterday. Unfortunately, they could have played the final. I was very, very confident that SRH and Mumbai will be together, and it would have been a lovely final, because I was 100% sure that SRH will never let go an opportunity. And yesterday also, if you look at the match from a fan's perspective, if you're not from Hyderabad or from Delhi, you would have really enjoyed the game, the way these two teams managed to compete against each other. It was phenomenal. I just really liked the way they went around doing their business. And congratulations to Delhi Capitals and SRH. Hard luck. Come back strong next year. What else can we say?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to get your opinion on the Delhi Capitals bowling unit. Despite the fact that Rabada is the purple cap holder, Nokia has been a little expensive. So has been Rabada. Ashwin yesterday was taken for 33 runs. Is it just a case of an off day for both Nokia and Ashwin, or do you think that might be slight issue once they face the Mumbai Indians in the final, given that they have leaked runs a fair bit in the last few games.
Rasen, when these any bowling attack they perform on a day, and a lot of study goes into it. The fact that there are those video footage available for every team, they study those footages, and they see what length these bowlers are bowling and what length they are getting success though, and accordingly a plan is hatched and a game plan is made. Accordingly, the players go out there and execute their plan, and this is at times it works, and there are times it doesn't work. But with if you see the way they started initial games, it was only the bowling which was helping them to win the games. But then they went for runs, and they continue to give runs, and they've given yesterday more than 170 runs to the opposition. So they are not best in the business. They are not as consistent as Mumbai Indian bowling is, because that's also quite multi-dimensional. Delhi is also multi-dimensional bowling attack. There's no two ways about it. But they have been sorted also, and that's why Nokia and Rabada are going for runs. There has to be a reason for it, because these opposition teams, obviously they do a lot of studies, as I pointed out, and it's not easy to get going all the time. But overall, a good performance, and thankfully the batters also contributed. When you only have those runs, 189 odd runs on the board, that will always help the bowlers to go out there. But just imagine if you're defending a score as low as 150 or something, 140, 150, 160, and 170 would have been unsafe. 180 could have been unsafe also. But this is how the game goes. Delhi Capitals, they have good bowlers. They'll have off days, but they have been having little more off days. I mean, Ashwin was brilliant throughout the tournament, isn't it? Let's not question Ashwin. But the other bowlers, Nokia has gone for runs, but he's fast, he's quick, he enjoys his game, and the fact that he's bowling so fast, it also proves to show that he's really liking the fact that he's bowling so fast. The feeling is awesome. The entire body responds, the mind, body, and it's a coordination. Fast bowling is what? It's a coordination of mind and body, and he loves that, and we can see it from his strides. Rabada is also doing well, but they have been little expensive, and the expensive bit is because the oppositions have started to sort them out.
Yeah, and very interestingly, I purposely kept this until the end, but today happens to be your favorite batsman Prithvi Shaw's 21st birthday. Uh, I just want to I want to frame a question around this, that Prithvi Shaw started for the Delhi Capitals, and then he was dropped to bring in Rahane, and then he was picked again, and then he was dropped for yesterday's match. So considering that they aren't trusting him in a qualifier or a knockout situation, do you think this might possibly be the last season that he's played for the Capitals, or will they just brush it off as maybe an off season and continue to back him at the top?
Very tough to say, actually. The fact that they've invested so much on Shaw, and sort of opportunity he got while playing for Delhi Capitals, I don't think any franchisee would have given him that kind of opportunity, the way of the opportunity he got. And he's very flashy, as we all know. He's also in scheme of things for Team India, I believe. But there are other guys who've shown more maturity in terms of young openers like Devdutt Padikkal from Karnataka, who played for RCB. He was very consistent, and there are others also who could open the innings. But we have a huge bunch, and this is what IPL brings into the table. But I am little disappointed with the fast bowlers, the Indian fast bowlers. Barring the top ones who have already done well, like the Bumrah and company. But Indian fast bowlers, there was a huge rush of Indian fast bowlers doing well in IPL 2-3 years ago. But that fast bowling, that authenticity, that fact that you give him the ball, he'll definitely do something for the team. That is mostly carried by the foreign fast bowlers in this IPL. I could be mistaken. This is what I feel, because barring Bumrah, if you look back, all the fast bowlers who've done well mostly are foreigners. Indian fast bowlers really need to, and when it comes to batting, I think the Indian batters have done reasonably well, better than the Indian bowlers. And then we have these ace bowlers like Ravichandran Ashwin doing so well. I'm very, and yesterday was an off day, of course. He went for runs, but when he runs in, I just get that feeling he can make all the difference. He can get the batsman out that very next ball. He gives you that sort of feeling inside, which is why Ashwin is looking different, and he's looked the best in whatever IPL he has played in recent years. When he was playing and captaining Kings 11 Punjab, he wasn't as powerful as he looked this season for Delhi Capitals, which is a good news for Delhi Capitals. And I hope, and he knows, being a senior pro, he knows how to come back. And the final would be one tussle between Ashwin and Rohit Sharma for sure, because in the qualifiers he sent back Rohit on the first delivery of the game. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and Shikhar Dhawan's half century yesterday took him 68 runs, close to getting the orange cap and beating KL Rahul for the top spot. But against the Mumbai Indians, you will be there for our preview show. But just before we close today's episode, Shikhar Dhawan 68 runs away from grabbing that orange cap. Do you think he can make it?
Why not? Why not? Why not? I mean, it's just you have to visualize, and everything will fall in place. You know, whatever you do in life, you want to just think about a good thing happening to you. You want to be the top run scorer. But for Shikhar, as far as I know, he would love to score not only 68 runs. You said, right, Prasen? He won't mind scoring 38, but as long as his team is winning, that's what is going to be mattering the most, for a senior cricketer like Shikhar Dhawan, and for all the Delhi Capitals. And as we all know, there are fans within this country who are sick and tired of seeing Mumbai Indians lifting the trophy all the time. They need a new champion. And you should have seen the way Delhi promoters were jumping up on their seats yesterday after they won the game, as if they never believed they could go all the way to the final. They've been consistent, and they've really been good in the last 2 years. If you look back towards the fag end of the league phase, they were losing games quite often, but they won those games which mattered the most, and that's why they're in the final. And all the best to Delhi Capitals and Mumbai Indians. And they have beaten Mumbai once. Have they? If I'm not mistaken, they have beaten once.
Delhi Capitals have no, they've lost to the Mumbai Indians.
All the 2 matches, right? All the 2 matches.
Yeah, they played them in the qualifier one also, where they lost.
So they have lost 3 games.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's going to be really, as I pointed, I was under the impression they won 1 game. No, those were the games they won against RCB and Kolkata Knight Riders. Yeah. But yes, they have a Himalayan task to do right now. They have a very steep climb to do, and I'm sure Delhi Capitals will be up for it. A win against a very, very good side like SRH, who have beaten Mumbai in the last league phase by 10 wickets. They should take those inspirations from those wins and move ahead and do something different and get a new champion on board, which is important for the league to look little different.
Yeah, absolutely. Only 3 teams remain to have not won a title yet. Delhi Capitals will be chasing that elusive title, and
Delhi and RCB.
Yeah, so 3 teams which have not yet won the title. Delhi have a shot at winning the title, but as you rightly mentioned, it's an uphill task. It's quite a mountain to climb for them. But of course, we will have the preview show of the Delhi Capitals versus Mumbai Indians clash tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Wherein our expert will be giving us observations on the playing 11s, the conditions, and obviously the fantasy tips as well, which we always bring you as part of every preview show. But as for the review show of Delhi versus Hyderabad, where the Delhi Capitals picked up a 17-run win and cruised of sorts, into the final of IPL2020. That's it from us, our cricket expert Indraneel Basu and myself, Prasen Maudgal. Thank you so much, viewers, for tuning in. Do join us at 7 p.m. tomorrow evening as we'll bring you the preview of Mumbai versus Delhi. Thank you so much for joining us, and see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye.